What is up, YouTube? Dolly back in the house again tonight. Elijah, news, information coming out about this young boy, 3 years old, went missing. 2 Rivers, Wisconsin. The news as of now is they still have not recovered this young boy. Now, we were expecting an 8 o'clock press conference. Okay, it is 8:44 now Eastern Standard Time, but of course, Wisconsin is 1 hour ahead of us. So it would be going on 8 o'clock there. Okay, so we were expecting this press conference. This press conference is not happening. Okay, that's the bad news. No press conference tonight, but they did just put out a press release. Okay, and it's a pretty long, lengthy press release. So I'm going to pull that up for you guys now so y'all can see this. And this is their update, which, let me tell you this, guys, out of all the police departments we've dealt with so far, these people are the worst on giving updates. They really don't give you much. We kind of know what's going on, but we'll discuss that a little bit more after we get through this press release. Bear with me. I don't have my glasses. They're somewhere around here, but we're just going to run with it, okay? We understand that there's a lot of emotion involved in the ongoing search for Elijah. Elijah has not been located and is still missing. We are working closely with state, federal authorities, and we are only releasing information that we are able to without jeopardizing this ongoing multifaceted investigation. Some might be frustrated. However, everything we do is well thought out and planned in a combined effort with our main priority to locate Elijah. Okay. The press briefing was to give facts, dispel rumors, as well as to let you know the factual information will only come from the Two Rivers Police Department. TRPD will continue to update the community with any facts and information that are able to be shared. If Elijah is located, we will share that information immediately. After receiving a 911 call, based upon circumstances, officers began searching for Elijah while we conducted the WI Department of Criminal Investigation, the FBI. A child is missing. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children requested a missing and endangered alert, an Amber Alert, a Ring neighborhood alert. Use local emergency alerts. Contacted all multiple municipal and county agencies for assistance. Sending out our Facebook request for public assistance. Brought in drones from Manitowoc. I don't know how to say the name of this town. Manitowoc Police Department, Sheriff's Office, K9 from the same place. Manitowoc Police, Sheriff's Office, air search from the Wisconsin Army National Guard, as well as boots and UTVs from Two Rivers Fire Department and Manitowoc County Sheriff's Office. We are exploring all possibilities in locating Elijah. We are into our 3rd day of search for Elijah, and any assistance from the public will aid in our efforts. Okay? Here are some things you can do to assist even outside of Two Rivers. Check anywhere a small child could hide, climb, or fall. Check your own property. Any items that don't belong to you, which include anything from Elijah, the red, white, and black plaited blanket, or dinosaur printed shoes. Now, we have heard about the dumpster. Okay. Check your surveillance systems from February 12th through February 20th. Okay, so they're thinking this baby might have been gone a little bit longer. We usually look back several days from the report to ensure we are thoroughly look for any more matches. Look for anyone that matches Eli's description. If your surveillance footage, you can also search public land for items or anything you feel relevant to this investigation. Please do not touch anything you find, but instead contact the tip line at, I ain't going to say the number, 1-844-267-6648, or the Two Rivers Police Dispatch at 1-920-686-7200 immediately. You may have seen officers searching local rivers and landfills. And this is correct. We will leave no stone unturned. We will continue to see similar large-scale searches as we receive tips and continue our search for Elijah. For those of you who have shared information, thank you. As we learn more information, we may recontact you for continued assistance. This is long. Okay, this is long. Let me hit my drink. Okay, we have a large police presence in our community for local, state, and federal authorities. We have no indication that any other children or individuals in the community are in danger. Authorities are working around the clock following up tips and information that would lead us to finding Elijah. We have some of the best resources in the country. They have descended on our community to help locate Elijah. Jesse Vang and Katrina Baur, I think that's how you say her name, have been arrested on allegations of child neglect. Both Vang and Blair will have bail hearings at 12:45 p.m. on Friday, February 23rd, 2024 at the Manitowoc County Courthouse. Due to victims' rights, we cannot release any further information on these charges. We will continue to update the search on Elijah as we are able to do so. Factual and up-to-date information will only come from the Two Rivers Police Department via media release, our Facebook page, or press conferences. Thank you to everyone who has assisted in the search for Elijah and continue to search for Elijah as they remain our top priority. Thank you to the Two Rivers community and our local businesses for your cooperation and continued support. Okay, here's my thing with that. Okay, here's my big thing with this. I'm hearing coming out of Wisconsin that there's like no command center. There's no like staging area. There's no communication between people out searching and the police. They're not guided. That people are just randomly out there searching. That there's no direction in this. Now we've seen in Texas, they had put searchers in an area, and then as they needed them, they brought the searchers in. But from what I'm hearing, nothing is going on like this in Wisconsin. They are flying aerial patterns with the helicopter around the landfill. Okay. Seems like all their resources right now have been at this landfill all day today. Now we've heard rumors about the shoe being at the dumpster. That dumpster was dumped yesterday. It's not confirmed that the shoe belongs to the little boy. Not confirmed yet, but it is believed that it is. Now, I'm pretty sure this shoe being believed that it is his, and I'm hearing that this kid liked to run around without his clothes on. Okay, he liked to take his stuff off. He didn't like to wear shoes. He didn't like to wear clothes. So when he went missing, he was actually fully dressed. He had shoes on, his clothes on, and there may have been some locks on the door because another autistic child that should have kept him from getting out of the home. A lot of things seem strange. Why are they charging the parents with if you take your child to a sitter, and which they're saying the caregiver, some people are saying it's her boyfriend, this Jesse guy, don't look like the nicest individual, but hey, you can't judge every book by its cover. He might be a great guy. But right now they're in custody. Friday, they will go up for a bond hearing. They are being charged with criminal child neglect at this point. But if you drop your kid off at a babysitter and something happens when you're not there, is that child neglect? I mean, I would think not. Unless you dropped your kid off knowingly somewhere that was a bad person. And as we looked into this Jesse guy's criminal record, he don't really have that bad of a record. He has some petty crimes, little petty crimes, nothing super major, nothing that stands out like baby killer, you know. Now, the person that she was with before this guy, the caregiver, her friend, or whoever he may be. Now, that guy, the daddy, is in prison right now till like 2031, and he has some of the worst charges you can humanly possibly read off. Okay, like when you read it, you just shake your head like, Lord, this man 2031, this man's getting out. He should never get out. But needless to say, his child is missing at the hands of somebody else. He ain't got nothing to do with it because he's in prison. Right now, the mom's in jail. You know, and some people are rumoring, this is a lot of rumors, guys, because, you know, this case is pretty fresh, is, you know, drugs, relapsing, going back on drugs. The neighbor statements don't jive with their statements. You know, and we hear in this press release that, you know, that they're looking from the 12th. Okay. Now, we do know on the 16th, that little boy was caught on tape at a place where he went to go get a breathalyzer. This Jesse guy went to go get a breathalyzer installed on his vehicle. And at the mechanic shop, they asked, did anything seem strange? And these people said everything seemed strange. The kid seemed like he was being controlled and sat there quiet for like 45 minutes, didn't say nothing to nobody. He was given a juice box. He got that juice box. He smiled, but didn't say anything. It seemed very strange to the people there. But, you know, even these people at this mechanic shop, they don't want to jump to wild speculation and things of that nature. At that point, the kid didn't appear to be in any physical danger. But this goes into watch who you leave your kids with. Now, we don't know if this kid went missing the day he was reported. We just know that the last time this child was seen alive was the 16th. Tuesday, he was reported missing. Last time he was seen was around 8 in the morning. But he wasn't reported missing till around 11. Apparently, the caregiver was taking a nap or something of that nature. So he's been in custody since that day. And the mother, of course, was taken in custody just the other day. Do they have something that they're not telling us? Okay. Usually in something like this, we would get a press conference every day, you know, because the media is all over this. This is a big case. It's been picked up nationally. Usually we would get a press conference every day around about the same time. But for them not to come out and say nothing, and they originally came out and said we had nothing to give, and they really don't give us nothing in this. They don't name no suspects. They just say that these people are being charged with neglect, but don't give us a reason why it's neglect. Okay, why is the mother being charged with neglect? That don't make any sense to me. If you would drop your kid off at a daycare or any other babysitter, would you be charged with? But in so quick in the case of it missing. And if you think about it, when I was watching the media today, there's no police out there. There's one cop watching the community, like sitting around. So this search is a little weird and don't make a lot of sense. Either they're just letting the community do what they want and they kind of know what's going on and they have focused on this landfill, but there's no direction is what I'm hearing. Now, I could be completely wrong, but the sources I'm hearing from saying, there's just people all around the place looking for them, but there's no setup, there's no command center, there's no police guiding the community areas to search or areas to stay out of that they may, things of that nature. We've seen a lot of this in Texas. I think Texas did a really good job, Livingston, Texas, with Audrey Cunningham, of using the community to really help on a large scale. But when they needed them out of a community, they would put them somewhere else to search, why they cleared the area where it wouldn't be, mess up any evidence or anything like that. So as soon as anything they thought was found, they immediately were pulling the searchers out and bringing in only professional searchers, like from Search and police and different authorities and fire departments and other services that had volunteered to come in. But we don't see no organization like that. Texas was really forthcoming with everything. And not at first. Okay. I can't say not at first they won't. But they started to open up a little bit because, the community really, information in this day and age travels fast, spreads fast. When a coroner or somebody shows up, this stuff is hitting the internet like this. And if you don't want people to speculate, the best way to be is forthcoming with the people, because if you're not, then people, of course, are going to speculate. True crime channels, that's what we do anyway. That's basically, we wonder what's going on. We sleuth for clues, and we do a lot of that. So I've always been like, if you're one of these people that or from a missing family, you probably don't want to tune into YouTube true crime, because the first people that are usually suspects, and just like in the real world, are the closest people to these people. Okay, so the closest people to this kid, the mother, who this kid is immediately around. In the beginning of this, you are the prime suspects. Okay, to every YouTuber, we always had the same format. Let's clear the family first, because a lot of this time in this, let's be honest, it's the family. It's very rare in this world that you're really killed by a stranger. Most of the time, you were hurt by somebody close to you, a loved one, things like that. That's a scary fact, that somebody close to you is more likely to kill you than a stranger. Dolly is a hardworking man. So still, this little boy could be out there somewhere. This may not be doom and gloom. They kind of, in the press release, made it sound like, oh, they're searching a landfill because they're going to leave no stone unturned. But I think it's something more than that. I think they have something that has really locked them on to this landfill, this certain landfill, because that is where that dumpster went to. And to me, this is a story that's just repeating itself. I went through the same thing in Georgia. The scariest thing to me is when I hear landfill. As soon as I hear that word, it is like a trigger word for me of badness. We have them searching a landfill now. Quentin Simon searching landfill. When I spoke with Stacy Wander up here, key suspect in the disappearance of Michael Monkey Vaughn, he says, well, we stopped near this landfill. And that so much sent chills down my spine to hear that, a suspect in the disappearance of this kid. One of the early things he says to me is, yeah, we pulled over on the side of the road right past the landfill. And I'm thinking in my mind is, what's with these kids ending up in landfills? It's like a bad reoccurring nightmare. And I don't know if Michael Monkey Vaughn is in a landfill. I'm just saying that this dude is pretty creepy. And when he leaves Brandon's house, he actually goes a different way that goes past a landfill. I don't know why he included that in his story, but it's just one of those things. I think the worst. As soon as I think landfill and they're not out there searching, I believe they know something. I truly believe the police know something and they're not being forthcoming. And that's why the police are saying, well, we know some people are upset. Then go ahead and tell us what you know. I know what it is. I'm kind of guessing what it is, that the mother and her boyfriend are directly involved in the disappearance of this kid. And they're not searching for a little kid running around with a blanket. They're asking the public to, okay, if you see the kid, look, but they're searching places where they're not looking for a live baby. They're searching waterways and they're searching the landfill. Let me tell you this, they're not searching a landfill for a baby that's alive. They're not searching a river for a baby that's alive. Something has tipped them off. And this is why they ain't let the people go. This is why they're holding them with neglect, so they can hold them long enough till they can hit them with something else. I truly believe that none of these people are going home anytime soon, okay, until this stuff gets figured out. And it sucks as a parent if you didn't have nothing to do with it. Now you in jail, okay? Let's just say they didn't have nothing to do with it and somebody really did snatch this baby. And this is a situation like Brandy and Tyler in Fruitland, Idaho. Tyler wanted to order a pizza, smoke a cigarette, and while he did, Michael Monkey Vaughn slipped out the house. Michael Monkey Vaughn, 5 years old, a little bit bigger kid. This kid shouldn't even been able to open the door. But tragically, Michael Monkey Vaughn slipped out that day, and there was monsters lurking. Stacy, Sarah, Brandon, and possibly Adrian. We just happened to be lurking, and Michael Monkey Vaughn has never been seen again. So is it possible a kid could get out their house and there be a monster lurking outside of it? Absolutely. And we seen that happen in the middle of nowhere. I've been to Fruitland, Idaho. I've been to Wisconsin. Fruitland, Idaho is the middle of nowhere. Okay. It is the middle of nowhere and beautiful area. And you got monsters lurking right in the damn cornfields. Okay. A lot of the stuff you see in the intro to this is shot in Fruitland, Idaho. That cornfield, that is a cornfield adjacent to Michael Monkey Vaughn's house. A little boy who slipped out the house while his dad was ordering food and smoking a cigarette. And the worst possible thing that could happen happened. So we don't want to jump the gun and blame people that might not have done it. Okay. Because you can imagine, what if Randy and Tyler, they would have been arrested. Okay. Instantly arrested. And they had nothing to do with it. Later on, the police came out, cleared them 100% that they have nothing to do with the disappearance of their child. Indictments are coming down. I know this. I got some inside shit. There's indictments coming down, and there is going to be arrests in the case of Michael Monkey Vaughn. There will be justice for this little boy. It's just going to take a little bit of a minute. And whatever's going on here, I think the police have wrangled it pretty fast and put these people in jail just in case. I know it sucks if you're innocent, but if you ain't, that's where you belong anyway, right? That's where you belong, is damn jail, if you've done something horrible. I'm hearing that these people have been battling drugs. And anytime there's drugs involved, bad stuff happens. Look, we've been covering the Adam Montgomery stuff for the last 2 weeks. And we've seen the drugs destroy people. Heard some of the worst, horrible horror stories we can imagine, why people were under the influence of these drugs, beating babies to death and things. It's just not normal behavior. But when you're doing these drugs and it's frying your brain like an egg in a 1980s Nancy Reagan commercial, there's a reason for them commercials. That shit is true as hell. I ain't talking about puffing a little bit of green smoke. Okay. I'm talking about these hard drugs, these street drugs, these drugs that are killing people, killing families, destroying people's minds. It's horrible. Okay. It is absolutely horrible. When you think stuff can't get any worse, it does. There's one thing about having a true crime channel. I never run out of things to talk about. And that is sad. I wish there was a day I could come up here and be like, guys, I ain't got nothing to say. There's always something. There's always somebody done killed somebody, done killed a baby, done kidnapped somebody, done killed multiple people, serial killers, spree killers, just insaneness. Insane. It makes me scared to go out. I already have anxiety. I already don't want to leave the house, right? But then you add all this stuff on top of it. It's like, holy shit, I feel like if I walk out of the house, somebody's going to kill me. Okay. That's how crazy our world has got, right? Like, you're just thinking, when I hear something about a baby, I'm just thinking, man, I shake my head and I just can't even imagine how people could do these things, even on drugs. Like, I've seen people on drugs that didn't kill their babies. What is it with these people doing drugs and they just like, F the kids, we'll kill them off? Like, it's insane. It is literally insane. And I pray that these family didn't hurt this baby. These are the people that are there to protect you. And crimes against your own children, I think, should be worse than crimes that a stranger commits, because these kids count on you to protect them. And you are the one that unalives them or hurts them, when easily you could just give that child up for adoption or something. There's safe havens. Like here in Virginia, we have safe havens. If you can't take care of your kid and you get to the point where you're going to sling it off a bridge or something crazy, you can go to the hospital, you can go to the fire department, and you can drop that kid off and they won't charge you with abandonment. They won't hit you with any charges. They'll take that kid, put it into the system, put it in get foster care, try to get that child adopted out, things of that nature, and they will never prosecute you. They'll never put you in jail. You don't have to spend one day in jail. You don't got to have the baby. You can hand it right over to somebody else that'll take perfectly good care of your child. And you'll never have access to it again, but it's better than being greedy and selfish, not being able to take care of a kid, and getting mad at a child. Like we seen Adam Montgomery. Kid used the bathroom, was homeless. Where was the child supposed to go to the bathroom at? She was so scared of this man. I just know it, right? So scared. Today, he was found guilty on all charges, second-degree murder. Every charge, guilty. And thank God that man will never step foot out on the world to hurt another person again. Now, we didn't get the same thing with Kayla, she'll be back out. That sucks. But look, either she does right or she'll end up back in the system and she'll end up in prison learning the hard way. New Hampshire made a deal with the devil. Okay. Wisconsin, don't make no deals with the devil. Okay. Don't make no deals with the devil. I think they know some things, guys. That's why they didn't come out with the press conference. They're holding everything tight. They've been at this landfill since this morning. They got helicopters circling it. Their flight patterns are all just over this landfill. So there's more to this. We're kicking over every stone. No, you're not. You're searching that landfill heavily with all your resources. That tells me something's bad. Really, really bad in this. Prayers to the family. I know their uncles, their grandmothers are in these groups, these Facebook groups, and it is hard, right? I know it's got to be hard for these families to see some of the things people say. And, or even listen to somebody like me speculate sometimes. I know it's hard to listen to. That's why I encourage you, if you're a family member, tune out of some of this stuff right now, because all it's going to do is really hurt you. You're going to hear some probably the worst things come out, or you could hear the greatest news ever. Like I said, just a few months ago, child was found. People were giving up hope. It had been days. And the gentleman said, I'm going to just look one more time. He goes out early in the morning and he recovers this little small boy alive. He was scratched up bad though. Like, the weeds, they got him, but not hurt, not physically hurt. So miracles happen. Sometimes kids do wander off. Usually it's bad when it happens, but sometimes it does end okay. And it never hurts to say a little prayer. Just don't look good with the police, not really searching like you would think they would. And all their searches is in one place. Like they got all their eggs in one basket. They're saying they don't. But right now, that's what. And just thank God they've owned it quick, because like I said, the stuff in Georgia, it took a little while before them to be able to realize that Quentin was in that dumpster that we later found out, right? That dumpster. I still got the video of me in that dumpster. It breaks my heart still to this day. Especially when you see how dirty and grimy that shit was, right? It just stunk. It was just nasty. And for your last days to be somewhere so horrible. And here's the thing. I tell this shit to people all the time. When you see this on the internet, it's kind of like watching a show. Okay? But, I'm at these locations. I'm there. And it ain't a show. It is the most heartbreaking thing you can experience. It's a total different effect on you. It's a total different effect. Like some of you guys watched them pull that tile out in the court, watched it like it wasn't a problem. I was sitting in the court. When they pulled that tile out, I almost cried. I'm a grown ass man. This ain't even my kid. That's how hurt it was. It was like, it's terrible. So when you're there, it is way worse than what you're seeing on the internet. Some of this stuff on the internet blows your mind. Like, just wow. In person, it crushes your heart. It don't quite blow your mind. It kind of hits you like right here. I don't even recommend people getting into true crime. Okay. Don't do it. Find something else that's a little less emotional, right? Because there's no way you can follow some of these cases at the level that we do and not have some type of emotion towards it. Okay. There's no way. If it's not grabbing your heart like that, then I think you went it for the wrong reasons. right? Because I find myself more choked up in true crime and like trying to hold my shit together, because the last thing you want to do is be a grown-ass man on the internet crying, especially with all the haters I got. They be had that shit all over the internet. But just know inside Dolly be crying. I'm just, it hurts my heart to see this stuff. It makes me sick. Sometimes I wish I could get 5 minutes alone in a room with some of these people. It is the worst type of crime you could ever humanly commit to me. Wow. Okay, that was a lot to say. that was a lot to say. Prayers for this family. Look, guys, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. I just wanted to give y'all that update. For the people out in Wisconsin searching, prayers for you guys. Y'all are angels. Can hard work. And if the police know something they ain't telling us, I hope they're doing that for good reasons. Okay. We learned in Idaho forward. Let me send out some encouragement to people that may be worried with the police's actions. Idaho 4, they came out and just straight lied to us, didn't tell us nothing. But the whole time they were putting it together and they pretty much solved it, arrested the person that did it. And sometimes they don't give us information to keep the general public just out the way. Okay. So we ain't worrying them while they're trying to do what they're doing. I've learned this the hard way. Have a little faith in the police. Okay. I had to say it. I'm one of those people that used to have no faith in the police, but they have proved me wrong plenty of time that they do their job. Have a little faith in the police. Hopefully they know what is going on and they know things definitely that we don't know, and that everybody stays safe in the search for Elijah and that he is safe. Okay. Tomorrow's a brand new day. Miracles do happen at this point. Would it be in 3 days, 4 days in? We are going to need a miracle for this little boy to come home. Okay. So prayer warriors out there, throw your prayers out. I, of course, will see you guys in the morning. I'm dropping a bunch of videos on the locations that the jury went in the Adam Montgomery case tomorrow. Okay. Because I've been trying to get those out for you guys for 2 days, but with all the streaming and all the new stuff going on, I ain't had a chance. So Adam Montgomery case is over. He's been found guilty. So tomorrow I will get those videos out, since I ain't got to be up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I will get those videos out for you. Plus I have some stuff from Boston that I shot, from the Karen Reed case. I take you to the restaurants. I take you kind of where Karen Reed went. I take you to the location of the death of John O'Keefe. So there's going to be a bunch of cool stuff coming tomorrow, videos. Make sure y'all like them. Make sure y'all share some of it. And thank you guys so much for supporting Dolly. And if you're watching out there in the ether and you ain't subbed up yet, make sure you sub up. We're going to have an awesome this year. And I need each and every one of you. See you guys later. Peace.